adding of the new element into the existing array, that is regarding insertion. What is linear? So the elements will be going to be stored one after another. So that will be in the sequential form. Binary search, here we are supposed to give the element in the sorted order. Very, very important. Whatever the elements that we are going to give for a search, it has to be in the sorted manner. Hello everyone, welcome back to the session 4 on 4th chapter, that is data structure. Myself Rohini, lecturer, Department of Computer Science, Vidyashram Pre-University College, Mysuru. In my previous session, we learned about the basic operations on one-dimensional array. So when it comes to the array, there we have 3 types. So it can be one-dimensional, two-dimensional and multi-dimensional. So in our last session, we learned about what are the basic operations that we can perform on the one-dimensional array. So that after that we learned about traversing a linear array. So that means I have traversed from the first element of an array to the last element. That means we are going to visit each element exactly once in order to perform any of the operation. That is regarding traversing. There what and all you have to remember its definition along with the algorithm. That will be very, very important question for 3 mark and 5 mark question. So and also we learned about insertion of a new element into the existing array. So there we have several elements, but now I want to add one more element to the existing array. So that means what? Insertion, adding of the new element into the existing array, that is regarding insertion. There also you have to understand its definition along with the algorithm. Then we have deleted an element from the array. So removing of an element from an array is nothing but deletion. So there also you have to concentrate what do you mean by deletion and what are the data we require in order to delete and example along with the algorithm. So we're done with what? Traversing, insertion and deletion. So in today's session, we are going to learn about searching of an element. So when it comes to the operations of an array, there we have traversing, insertion, deletion, searching, sorting and merging, right? So already we learned about what is traversing, what is insertion, what is deletion. In today's session, we are going to learn about searching of an element. So what are the methods we have in order to search? So it can be, we go with linear search and binary search. So then what do you mean by searching? So what is the definition? Already you guys know about the searching definition. That is nothing but what? It refers to the finding the location of the element in a linear array. So here we are considering the linear data structure. That means what? The elements will be continuously presented one after another. So that will be in the linear fashion. That will be in the sequential fashion. So that is nothing but what? A linear array. So searching in the sense what? We are seeking for the particular location of an element. That method is known as searching. And what are the algorithms we are going to work with? So we have several searching methodology or we have several searching algorithms. But in your portions or in your syllabus, you are going to learn about binary search and linear search. So here also you have to concentrate what is the definition of each type of searching along with its example and algorithm. So now we'll see about this linear search. Linear. What is linear? So the elements will be going to be stored one after another. So that will be in the sequential form. So if it is in the sequential form, how we are going to fetch or how we are going to access the position of that element, that will be also in the form of linear method. So we'll see here. So this is simplest method in which the element to be searched is compared with each element of the array one by one from the beginning to the end of the array. Let me take one example. So 10, 20 and 30 and 40. How many elements I have here in this array? I have 4 elements. So how many elements I have? That is n value. Okay, that means I have 4 elements and array's index will be starts from A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, and A of 3. So this will going to be the lower bound. This will be the upper bound. So lower bound is nothing but what? First element of an array. So that I can call that as a base address. So here we have a upper bound, that is the maximum number of elements in an array. So when it comes to the linear search, here we are going to have one element. So for example, I want to find the location, or I want to search an element called 30. So the element is 30 and now I want to find its position, where it is in the array. So that is what searching. Searching is nothing but we are going to search for the location of the element in a linear array. So I want to search for an element called 30. I want to seek in which position it is located in an array. So that is the task. Then how I am going to do? I am going to compare this 30 from the beginning element to the end element. That means I am going to check an element 30 with the first element. What is the first element here? Is 30 is equal to 10. I am checking. Is 30 is equal to 10? No. So it will get cancelled and it will move to the next element. Here again I am going to check, is 30 is equal to 20. Whether it is equal to 30 is equal to 20? No, right? Again it will move to the next element. So there I am going to check whether 30 is equal to 30. Whether it is true or false. 30 is equal to 30, so that it will be true. So if it is true, then it will going to send its location. What is the location? That is A of 2. So what we are going to understand by this one? We are searching for a particular element, and if we found that element in a given array, then it will going to return its position. Then it will going to given its location. That method is known as what? Linear search. So linear in the sense from the beginning to the end element we are going to search. If we found the element in between, then the iteration will get stopped. So it will come out of the loop. If I found this 30, then I am not going to move for the further elements. So that is what about linear search. So we are going to understand with the algorithm itself. So searching is one after another. It is also called as sequential search. So what is the another name for linear search then? That is sequential search. Why it is in the sequential? We are going to compare one element with all the elements. So if we found a match, that is from the first beginning of an element to the end of an element, end of the array element, we are going to search. That will be in the order. So that it will be considered as what? Sequential search. So now we'll see the algorithm which regarding the sequential search, that is linear search. So what is the name of an algorithm? That is linear search. What are the elements I require? I require an array. So array name is A here, and n is nothing but number of element. And element is the element which I am searching for its location. That is what? E-L-E-M-E-N-T. That is element. I am searching for the particular element regarding its location, where it is exactly present in the given set of array. So these are the things that I have required. So A is an array with n elements, and element is the searched in the array. So element is being searched in the array. So we'll see the steps in order to make you understand what is linear search. So when it comes to the first step, so location is equal to -1. So location is equal to -1. So if you look into this example where the location has been started, so what is the location of the first element? That is 0. So that means what? It must be a positive number. It must be a whole number. But here what I am doing? So I am giving the location as -1. That means whatever the element that I am searching for, that is not existed in that given array. So here 0, 1, 2, 3 are the location. But I am initializing the location to -1. So -1 in the sense what? Element does not exist. So I am just assuming that. So I am searching for the element called 30. But what if I am searching for 100? Is this 100 is present in this array elements? No, right? So that for our assumption, we are going to assume that whatever the element that we are searching for, that is not exist in the given list. So that will be the first thing. Location is equal to -1. But -1 location does not exist in our array element. So that assume the element does not exist. So that will also be one of the possibility, whether I'm searching for an element which is in the location or that could not be in the particular element set. So that will be, we are going to assume this as location is equal to -1. So in step 2, for p is equal to 0 to n minus 1. So let me take 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there is no restriction over the elements. We can give the elements either in the sorted format or unsorted format when it comes to the linear search. Understand? So A of 0, A of 1, A of 2 and A of 3. So how many elements we have? We have 4 elements, but the location is what? 3. That means what? N minus 1. Location will be always n minus 1. Why? Because index starts from A of 0. So that is what the reason. Here I am going to check from the position 0 to n minus 1. That means what? I am going to traverse from the first element, that is from the 0th position to the n minus 1 position. So in this context, it is 0 to 3. So it is 0 to 3. So P is equal to 0 and P is equal to 1, P is equal to 2 and P is equal to 3. So these are the possible scenario. So once I enter this loop, I am going to make a condition. So what I am going to do? I am going to check the condition, that is if element is equal to A of I. So A of I in the sense this location, that is iteration. So in this context, I is equal to 0. So what is there in 0? That is 1. And I am searching for the, I am searching for an element 4. So this is the element I want to search, whether it is present in the set of elements or not. So this is my element and it will be in the A of 3. So we'll see whether this element is found or not. So in this case, what we are going to do? Element is equal to A of I. So what is the value of element? That is 4 is equal to A of I. In this sense, I is equal to 0. So A of I in the sense what? A of I. A of 0. What is there in A of 0? 1. Is 4 is equal to 1? That becomes false. So here I am going to check whether 4 is equal to 1. Is 4 is equal to 1? No, right? So at that time I will be incremented, then I will move to the next position. That means I am going to leave the first one and I will be going with next element. So this case I become 1 and element, searching element is always 4. And what's there in A of 1? A of 1, there we have 2. Is 4 is equal to 2? Is 4 is equal to 2? No, right? So this become false. Again it will move to the next element. It will going to check it again and I become second, third iteration and its index will be 2. So in the second position I am going to check. So what's there in A of 2? That is 3. So I am searching for the element 4. Is 4 is equal to 3? Is 4 is equal to 3? No. Then this also become false. Then the position will be moved by next one. So here I become 3. That is I am searching for 4. What is there in A of 3? So that is 4. Is 4 is equal to 4? Is 4 is equal to 4? That is true. If it is true, then what it will going to happen? Location is equal to P. So initially what was the location value? That is -1. I assume that what I am searching for the element that is not existed in the given set of array. But now I found that element. I found the match, so that I am going to copy the position. I am going to copy the position to the location. So now location is equal to, what is the P value? What is the P value here? That is 3. So that means what? In the location 3, the element 30 is found. So this over, go to step 3. So before going to that step, I have to end the if loop and I have to end the for loop. So now I am done with step 1 and step 2. So if I found this element, at that time I am going to copy the position to location and I will come here in the step 3. I am going to check if location is greater than or equal to 0. So we know the value of location. What is the value of location? That is 3. What is the value of location? That is 3. I am checking whether 3 is greater than or equal to 0. Is 3 is greater than or equal to 0? Whether it is true or false? It is true. If it is true, then it will going to print. What it will going to print? Element. What is the element value? That is 4 found in location. What's there in location? That is 3. So 4 found in location 3. So this will be the output. So when the location is not greater than or equal to 0, at the time else part will going to happen, that is element not found. When this location is not greater than or equal to 0, when the location value is -1, that means when we are searching for an element which is not in the list. So this is about the linear search. So let me show you what if the element does not exist in the set. We'll see the else part here. So for that, let me take only 2 elements. So 10, 20 and its location is A of 0 and its location is A of 1. But I want to search an element called 30. So just assume that I want to search an element called 30. So as of now, we know that 30 is not in the array set. That means that we don't have as a element in the list of array. But we'll see how it will going to work in a program manner. So here in the first step, I am going to assign the location to -1. Then I will start with position 0 to n-1, that is P0 and P is equal to 1. We have only 2 elements and if element is equal to A of I. So I is equal to 0 and I am searching for an element 30. So that A of I, so that is A of 0. What is there in A of 0? That is 10 and I am searching for an element called 30. Is 30 is equal to 10? No. So it will move to the next element. So that means I become 1 now. A of 1 is, I am searching for an element 30 is equal to, what's there in A of 1? That is 20. Is 30 is equal to 20? No. If it is no, then it will come out of the loop and it will come here. So it will come out of the loop and it will come here if location is greater than or equal to 0. So let me check. If, what is the location? As of now, what is the location? That is -1. If -1 is greater than or equal to 0. So make an analysis. Is -1 is greater than or equal to 0? Exactly not. So that is -1 is lesser than 0, that we have a negative value. But 0 comes under positive value. So that this become false. When if condition become false, at the time this won't get exist and it will come to the else part. What we have in else part? That is print element. What is the value of element? I am searching for 30. Element not found. That means 30 not found. This is how the linear search will going to happen. Whether we found an element or we doesn't found an element, at last it has to exit. So this is an algorithm regarding the linear search. We have 2 possibilities. Whether we are going to get an element, that means the element is found, or else element is not found. These are the 2 possibilities when it comes to the linear search. So I hope you understood with the linear search. Here also I have taken one example, that is I have 12, 23, 9, 17 and 7 and I want to search for an element called 17. So where it is? It is in the A of 3. Here also I have the position P is equal to 0, P is equal to 1, 2 and 3. So what I am going to do? I am going to compare. So what is the first value? That is 12. I am going to compare 17 with 12. If 17 is equal to 12, no, right? Then location is -1. So I have the next element called 23. So I am going to compare 17 with 23. If 17 is equal to 23, no, right? Then the location will be -1 itself. In the second iteration, I am going to compare this 9 with 17 is equal to, 17 is equal to 9. No, then it become, location become -1. So at last I have 17. I am going to check whether 17 is equal to 17. This becomes true. And what is the location of this value? That is A of 3. So the location become 3. So what we got to know that by this one? So the element 17 is found in the location called 3. So we found an element. That means we have searched an element. This is regarding linear search. So next we'll see the next method, that is binary search. So what is binary search? So in linear search, we are going to search for an element from the beginning to the end. But when it comes to the binary search, here we are supposed to give the element in the sorted order. Very, very important. Whatever the elements that we are going to give for a search, it has to be in the sorted manner. So if you look into the example, in the linear array, element can be either in the sorted format or not sorted format. That means unsorted order. So if you look into this example here, the elements are not at all in the sorted format. Why? Because it is not even in the ascending or descending order. It is just a mixing up of all the kinds of values. But when it comes to the binary search, here we have one condition. Here we have one condition. That means what? Element should be in the sorted format. It can be either ascending order or descending order, but element must be in the sorted order. So when the elements of the array are in the sorted order, then the best method of searching is binary search. So when we have to go with binary search, when the elements of an array is in the sorted format, at that time this binary search will be very helpful. So what we are going to do in this binary search? So the method compares the element to be searched with the middle element of the array. So if you just analyze the difference between linear and binary search, in linear search what we are going to do? I have one element. I want to search that particular element. At the time what I am going to do? I am going to compare that element with all other elements up to the last element. So if I found in between, I will come out of the loop. So that will be regarding linear search. So when it comes to the binary search, what we are going to do? I am going to compare the element which I am searching for. I am directly going to compare that element with a middle element of an array. So, for example, 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. How many elements I have? I have 5 elements. So, if you look into this one, you will get to know that which is the middle element. So, in the normal way, so that is the middle element. And I want to search an element called 40. So what I am going to do? I am going to compare this 40 directly with the middle element. So what I am going to do? I am just going to leave this part. I am going to leave this part. In the first stage, I am just going to compare my searching element to the middle element. So that can be possible with binary search. So we'll see the next thing. If the comparison is searched either at the right of the array or at the left of the array. So we have 3 possibilities. So if I'm searching for an element called 40, so I'm searching for an element called 40. So I have 3 scenarios. In that 3 scenarios, I'm going to compare my searching element directly with the mid element. If I'm searching for the middle element exactly, then it will going to give me the location exactly. Or else, whether my searching element is right off of this mid or left off of this mid. So 3 scenarios, exactly at the middle or right side of the mid or left side of the mid. So if I get to know if my searching element is right off of the mid element, then no need to search for these two elements. If I get to know that if I'm searching for the element which is existed or which is present left off of this middle element, then no need to search for these two elements. So which is more efficient, whether linear or binary? Binary, right? But we have one condition, it has to be in the sorted format. So in linear, so as of now we have only 5 elements. But what if we have thousands or 5,000 elements? So at the time from in the linear array, I have to compare all the elements with the 5,000. What if my searching element is in the 5,000 position? So it will be 2 time. That means it will take too much of time. And the space complexity will also going to be increased. But when we are working with this binary search, I'm directly going to fetch the middle element. So if I'm searching for the element which is exactly at the middle, it will going to return that yes, you are searching for the element which is exactly at the middle. Or else I can get to know that I'm searching for the element which is found right off of the middle element. Then I'm going to leave this left part. So it will going to save the time and I'm going to leave the left part in the sense I'm not looking for those elements. But if I'm searching for the element which is to the left of the array or left of the mid element, at the time I'm just going to leave the right of the array element. That means I'm just going to search my element only this side. So I'm going to leave this part. That is also will going to save the time and that is also will going to save the memory space. So that is what the concept when it comes to the binary search. Here, let the position of the first element. So, we have 5 elements. Let's make it the first element as a beginning. So, BEG, that is the beginning element and the last element as the end element. Last element as the end element of the array and the middle element as A of mid. So, the element of middle will be A of mid. So, understand 3 terminologies: beginning, end and mid. How we are going to find the middle element then? That is, we have one formula called mid is equal to beginning plus end divided by 2. So, I am going to add the location of the first element, that is beginning, and I am going to add the location of the last element, that is end, and I will sum it up and I am going to divide that by 2. So, then I am going to find the mid element. So, beginning, end, mid. How we are going to find the mid? Mid is equal to beginning plus end whole divided by 2. So, that is what the formula that you have to understand. So, this is how the binary search will going to work. So, we'll see with an example and an algorithm. So, my algorithm name is binary search and I have a beginning element, end element and I have a middle element. And I have an element which I am searching for. So, A is an array with n elements. Let beginning, end, mid. It will going to denote beginning, end and middle location of the array. So, first what we have in the first step, beginning is equal to LB. So, LB in the sense what? Lower bound. So, let me take 6 elements. So, let me take 4 elements. So, 10, 20, 30 and 40. A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3. So, this is LB, this is UB. This is the location of the lower bound, this is the location of upper bound and this is nothing but beginning and this is nothing but end. I have to find the mid element. Mid element is equal to beginning plus end whole divided by 2. Let me tell you. So, set beginning is equal to LB. So, I said that beginning is nothing but LB and end is nothing but UB. So, now I got to know that how many elements I have in the array. So I have 4 elements. The first element will be beginning, that is lower bound, and the last element will be end, that is upper bound. So, and I am going to make a location is equal to -1. That means what I am searching for the value that is not present in the array. So let me consider, I want to search an element called 30. So I want to search for an element called 30. So that is my scenario. You have understood what is beginning, what is end. So in step 2, what I am going to do, I am going to test while condition. We already discussed about while and all. So while beginning less than or equal to end. So whether I am searching for an element which is exactly between the beginning and end. So what is the beginning here? That is a of 0 while 0 is less than or equal to, what is the end value? That is 3. So take the location, don't take the element. Okay, so take the location, beginning is 0 and end is 3. So if 0 is less than or equal to 3, it is true. Then I am going to find the mid element. Mid is equal to beginning plus end by 2. So what is the beginning value? So mid is equal to, what is the beginning value? That is 0 plus end value, that is location, is 3 divided by 2. So what we are going to find? That means 1.5. Can I take it as 1.5? No. Why? Because I have taken mid element as the int. So that it will going to truncate the fractional part and the mid location will become 1. So what is the mid location now? That is 1. So what I get to know that the element a of 1 will be in the middle. So I have 4 elements. First element is 10 and last element is 40 and the mid location is a of 1. There we have a element called 20 and I am searching for an element called 30. So this is what you have to understand right now. So I am going to check if element is equal to a of mid. So make it as double equals. Why? Because I am just checking is element is equal to a of mid. So if element, which is the element I am searching for, 30 is equal to, what is there in a of mid? Mid value is 1, a of 1. What is there in a of 1? That is 20. Is 30 is equal to 20? Is 30 is equal to 20? No. If this become false, we are supposed to come out of this if loop. That means I have to go with else part. If the condition is true, then these two statements will going to be executed or else it will comes to the else part. So here I have a else part. I am going to make a comparison here. If element is less than a of mid. So let me check if element, what is the element I am searching for? 30 is less than. So let me go with this one. If element less than a of mid. If element is 30 less than a of mid. What is the a of mid? That is, we know that a of mid is a of 1. What is there in a of 1? That is 20. Is 30 is less than 20? Is 30 is less than 20? No. So if this is no, that means if the condition is false, then we are supposed to go with else part. So what we have in else part? That is beginning is equal to mid plus 1. So beginning is equal to mid plus 1. So what we have in mid? So we have mid as a of 1. Then I am going to make the beginning as the mid plus 1. That means this becomes the end of the element and this will going to be the new beginning. So this will going to be the new beginning. So beginning is equal to mid plus 1. So as of now my beginning will be a of 2. So now what it become? Beginning is equal to a of 2. That means we are going to end this if loop and I am going to end this if loop. So but we are not going to end the while loop. So when the while loop will get executed, that means when it will becomes end, when the condition become false, when this while condition become false, then only it will come out of the loop. But I have one more opportunity or I have one more iteration. So As of now, what do you have to understand? I'm searching for an element called 30 that is not exactly in the middle. That is not exactly in the middle. At that time, what I'm going to do? I'm just going to leave these two elements. So, as of now, I have only 30 and 40. So, beginning is equal to A of 2. What's be there in A of 2? That is 20, and we have A of 3. So now this become beginning and this become end itself. So now let me compare the while statement. While beginning is less than or equal to end. So I am going to check what is the beginning value. So let me write it here. While what is there in the beginning value? That is what we have in beginning, that is 2, and end is 3, while 2 is less than 3. If 2 is less than 3, this becomes true. When it becomes true, it will come here and it will going to find the middle element. So, mid is equal to beginning plus end. What is the beginning value? That is 2 plus 3 divided by 2. So 2 plus 3 will be 5. 5 by 2 is 2.5. Then the mid element will be 2 itself. So what is the mid element now? That is 2. So that is A of 2. What we have in A of 2? That is 30. So that means the mid element will be A of 2 and the element is 30. Okay, so I am done with this one. So let me compare this one. If element is equal to A of mid. So what is the element value? That is 30 as always. Is 30 is equal to what we have in A of mid. So A of mid is nothing but, sorry, this is 2. A of mid is nothing but A of 2. So in A of 2 we have 30. So that is 30 is equal to 30. Is 30 is equal to 30? I'm searching for an element which is exactly at the middle. Yes. So that means what? It becomes true and it will going to execute the statement. Location is equal to middle. So location is equal to middle. So what we have in middle? That is A of 2. So what is the location then? That is 2. Location will be 2. Go to step 3. So let me move to the step 3. What we have in step 3? If location is greater than or equal to 0. So let me check. If location, what is the location value? 2 is greater than or equal to 0. Is 2 is greater than or equal to 0? Yes, it is true. If it is true, then it will going to print the statement print element. What is the value of element? That is 30 found in location LOC. What we have in LOC? That is 2. That means what? 30 found in location. What is the location value? That is 2. So we found an element called 30 in the location 2. So I am going to take the same content, but I am going to search for element called 50. Same thing will going to happen, but I won't found that element in the element set. So that location will be -1 as it is. If -1 is not greater than or equal to 0, at the time it will comes to the else part and it will going to print search is unsuccessful. That means when we didn't found the element which we are searching for, then it will going to print a statement like search is unsuccessful. Whether it is successful or unsuccessful, it has to exit. So this is how the binary search will going to work. So 3 scenario, whether we are searching for an element which is exactly at the middle, or whether we are searching for an element which is right side of the middle element, or whether we are searching for an element which is left part of the middle element. So if we are searching for the element which is exactly at the middle, then it directly going to give its the location of the mid element, or else it will come here and it will going to check whether we are searching for an element which is left part of the mid element, then the end become mid -1. So that means if I'm searching for 10, at that time the mid element becomes the end element itself. So this will be the end, this will be the beginning itself. So I'm not going to seek for 30 and 40. So because I get to know that I'm searching for an element 10 that is in the left part of the mid element. So if this condition is false, then it will come here, and if we are searching for an element which is greater than A of mid, that means if we are searching for an element which is right side of the mid element, at that time beginning will going to be the next element of the mid. So that means I'm not going to search this part, I'm just going to search for 30 and 40. Then we are going to find that element called 30. So 3 scenarios you have to understand. So this is all about binary search. So now we got to know about the linear search and binary search. So now we'll see about the difference between the binary search and linear search. So when it comes to the linear search and binary search, in linear search, this can be used in sorted and unsorted array. So as I told you, a linear search can be work with an element whether it can be in the sorted format or unsorted format. But what if you are performing the binary search? At that time, the element must be in the sorted array. Then only we can perform an operation binary search. Next, and array elements are accessed sequentially. How we are going to access or how we are going to fetch the elements of linear array? So it will be in the sequential form. But when it comes to the binary search, we can access the middle element directly. So that is in the binary search. Access is very slow. Here access is very slow. Why? Because I have to search from the beginning element to the end element. So that access will be very slow. Here access is faster. How it is faster? I have a direct access to the middle element so that it will be faster. So this can be used in single and multi-dimensional array. I can use the linear search either for 1 dimension, 2 dimension or multi-dimension, but that is not in the case of this binary search. It has to be used in the single dimensional array and all the element must be in the sorted format. So this technique is easy and simple in implementation. But it will take more time. When it comes to the linear search, it will take more time. So as of now, if we have 5 elements, then it will be easy. What if we have 5,000, 10,000 elements? We have to wait. So it will be slow. And it will be easy to implement, but it will be in the complex in operation. So we must get to know which is the middle element, which is the beginning, whether we are searching for an element. If we are searching for an element which is right side of the middle or left half of the middle, everything we have to analyze so that it will become complex in operation. I hope you all understood with today's session. So in our today's session, we learned about searching there. We learned about binary search and linear search. So that what it indicates, we are done with traversing, insertion, deletion and searching. In my next class, I am going to show you the sorting method. So how we are going to sort an element of an array and what are the methods that we are going to use. Everything I am going to discuss in my next session. Until that, keep learning, keep on growing. Thank you very much.